Hey there, money mavericks and financial fiasco fans. Today we're diving into the wild world of corporate catastrophes. Buckle up as we count down $10 billion blunders, when companies set cash on fire. Let's kick things off with number 10, Marriott's Starwood Stumble. Kicking off our countdown is Marriott's acquisition of Starwood Hotels in 2016 for $13.6 billion. While not a complete disaster, this deal came with a hidden amenity, one of the largest data breaches in history. The breach, affecting up to 500 million customers, has cost Marriott hundreds of millions in fines and lawsuits. It's a stark reminder that in the hospitality industry, not all surprises are welcome ones. Let's check into the details. The merger created the world's largest hotel company with 30 brands and over 5,700 properties. In 2018, Marriott discovered a massive data breach in Starwood's reservation system dating back to 2014. The breach exposed personal information including names, addresses, and even passport numbers of guests. Marriott faced a £99 million fine from the UK's Information Commissioner's Office for GDPR violations. The company has spent millions on cybersecurity upgrades and legal fees related to the breach. This case shows that in the digital age, cybersecurity should be a top priority in any merger or acquisition. Sometimes the biggest threats are hiding in the hotel safe. Number 9. RBS's ABN AMRO acquisition ache. In 2007, the Royal Bank of Scotland led a consortium to acquire ABN AMRO for $100 billion. Timing is everything, and boy did they get it wrong. The financial crisis hit shortly after, turning this dream deal into a nightmare. RBS had to be bailed out by the UK government to the tune of £45 billion. Talk about a royal flush, and not the good kind. Here's the blow-by-blow of this banking blunder. RBS outbid Barclays in what was the largest banking takeover in history. The deal was financed largely by debt, leaving RBS overextended. When the 2008 financial crisis hit, RBS found itself severely undercapitalized. The UK government had to step in with the largest bank bailout in history. This catastrophe reminds us that in banking, as in life, it's not just about winning the bid, it's about surviving the aftermath. Number 8. HP's Autonomy Adventure. In 2011, Hewlett-Packard decided to spice up its software business by acquiring Autonomy for $11.1 billion. Plot twist, a year later, HP announced a write-down of $8.8 billion, claiming they'd been hoodwinked about Autonomy's value. This corporate soap opera had it all: accusations of fraud, lawsuits, and enough finger-pointing to make your head spin. The takeaway? Always check under the hood before buying a shiny new business. Let's decode this debacle. HP bought Autonomy to boost its enterprise software business and compete with IBM. Almost immediately, there were integration issues and disappointing financial results. HP accused Autonomy of accounting improprieties, inflating its value before the acquisition. The fallout led to the departure of HP's CEO and years of legal battles. In 2019, a $5 billion civil fraud trial began in London, dragging the saga into a new decade. This fiasco shows that in the world of big tech acquisitions, due diligence is worth its weight in gigabytes. Number 7. Pets.com's doggone disaster. Who could forget the adorable sock puppet mascot of Pets.com? Certainly not the investors who watch their money go to the dogs. This poster child of the .com bubble spent millions of Super Bowl ads and catchy marketing, but forgot to figure out how to make money selling pet food online. Within 2 years, Pets.com went from IPO to iPoo, leaving behind nothing but a plush toy and a lot of red ink. Here's why this pet project failed. Pets.com spent lavishly on advertising, including a $1.2 million Super Bowl ad in 2000. Their business model was flawed. Shipping heavy bags of pet food was expensive, and they often sold products at a loss. The company went public in February 2000, raising $82.5 million, but collapsed just 9 months later. In the end, Pets.com burned through $300 million in investor money. Ironically, the sock puppet mascot outlived the company, appearing in other ad campaigns and even running for mayor of Baltimore. Pets.com shows us that clever marketing can't save a business model that's all bark and no bite. Number 6. Boo.com's fashion faux pas. In the late 90s, Boo.com burst onto the scene with dreams of being the hottest online fashion retailer. They spent $135 million in just 18 months throwing lavish parties and creating a website so fancy that most people's dial-up connections couldn't handle it. By 2000, Boo had gone bust, teaching us all that in the world of e-commerce, style without substance is so last season. Let's unravel this fashion disaster. Boo.com aimed to be a global company from day one, launching in 18 countries simultaneously. Their website featured 3D views of products and a virtual assistant named Miss Boo, cutting-edge tech that most computers couldn't handle. The company burned through cash on first-class travel, expensive offices, and star-studded launch parties. Inventory management was a nightmare, leading to items being out of stock or prices varying across regions. When the dot-com bubble burst, Boo.com couldn't secure additional funding and folded. This blunder reminds us that in business, like in fashion, it's important to walk before you try to strut down the runway. Number 5. Webvan's grocery gaffe. Before online grocery shopping was cool, there was Webvan. This company raised $800 million and promised to revolutionize how we buy our bread and butter. Instead, they delivered a masterclass in how to burn through cash at lightning speed. Webvan expanded too quickly, built massive infrastructure, and forgot one tiny detail: making a profit. By 2001, they were bankrupt, leaving us to wonder who knew selling bananas could be so slippery. Here's what went rotten. Webvan built huge automated warehouses before proving their business model worked. They expanded to multiple cities simultaneously, stretching resources thin. The company offered free delivery on orders over $50, often at a loss. They faced tough competition from established supermarkets and couldn't build customer loyalty fast enough. In the end, Webvan lasted just 3 years, becoming a cautionary tale for dot-com era excess. Webvan's story teaches us that even with a cart full of investor cash, you can't outrun the basics of business economics. Number 4. Microsoft's Nokia Nope. In 2013, Microsoft decided to go all in on the mobile market by acquiring Nokia's phone business for $7.2 billion. Spoiler alert, it didn't work out. Within 2 years, Microsoft wrote off $7.6 billion related to the acquisition. That's right, they lost more than they paid. This blunder proves that even tech giants can dial the wrong number when it comes to big bets. Let's dissect this digital disaster. Microsoft was late to the smartphone game, trailing behind Apple's iPhone and Google's Android. They hoped Nokia's hardware expertise would help them catch up quickly. However, Windows Phone never gained significant market share, struggling to attract app developers. The acquisition led to massive layoffs and the eventual discontinuation of the Lumia smartphone line. This fiasco cost Microsoft billions and set back their mobile ambitions for years. The lesson? Sometimes being fashionably late to a party means you miss all the fun and the profit. Number 3. Juicero's Squeezed Dreams. Juicero, the company that thought we needed a $400 Wi-Fi connected juicer to squeeze bags of pre-cut fruits and veggies. Spoiler alert, we didn't. This Silicon Valley darling raised $120 million from investors before people realized you could squeeze the bags with your bare hands. Talk about a fruitless endeavor. Juicero went from being the toast of the tech world to the butt of jokes faster than you can say organic kale smoothie. Here are some of the juicy details. Juicero's founder, Doug Evans, compared himself to Steve Jobs and claimed his juicer had the force to lift 2 Teslas. The machine used QR codes to check if the juice packs were expired or recalled, a solution in search of a problem. When Bloomberg revealed you could squeeze the packs by hand, Juicero offered full refunds to all customers. The company shut down just 16 months after launch, proving that sometimes the simplest solution is the best. Juicero's saga reminds us that not every problem needs a high-tech solution, especially when it comes to squeezing fruit. Number 2. AOL's Time Warner Tango. Remember the days of dial-up internet and You've Got Mail? AOL sure does, and they're probably still cringing about their 2000 merger with Time Warner. This $165 billion deal was supposed to create a media powerhouse. Instead, it turned into a financial fumble of epic proportions. Within 2 years, the company reported a loss of $99 billion. That's not just burning money, that's setting a whole forest ablaze. The marriage of old and new media proved to be more of a mismatch than a match made in heaven. Let's break down this disaster. The merger was based on the idea that combining AOL's internet savvy with Time Warner's content would create an unstoppable media giant. However, cultural clashes between the two companies were immediate and severe. The dot-com bubble burst shortly after the merger, tanking AOL's value. To make matters worse, broadband started replacing dial-up, eroding AOL's core business. By 2009, Time Warner spun off AOL, ending what's often called the worst merger in history. This blunder teaches us that bigger isn't always better, especially when corporate cultures clash like cymbals in a quiet library. Number 1. Quibi's quick demise. And now, for the grand finale of our countdown, we present Quibi, the streaming service that crashed and burned faster than you can say quick bites. Picture this, you've got $1.75 billion in your pocket and a dream of revolutionizing mobile streaming. What could possibly go wrong? Enter Quibi, the brainchild of Jeffrey Katzenberg and Meg Whitman. This short-form video platform aimed to be the next big thing, but ended up as a cautionary tale. Quibi splashed onto the scene in April 2020 only to sink faster than a lead balloon. By December, it had shut down, leaving investors scratching their heads and wondering if they'd been punked. The lesson? Sometimes even the brightest stars in Hollywood can't predict what audiences want. Here's the expanded scoop. Quibi bet big on the idea that people wanted high-quality, short-form content designed specifically for mobile devices. They threw money at A-list celebrities and top-tier directors to create quick bites of entertainment. However, their timing couldn't have been worse. The pandemic hit right as they launched, meaning fewer people were commuting or waiting in lines. Prime times for short-form content. Additionally, their content couldn't be shared on social media, limiting word-of-mouth marketing. To top it off, the price point was too high compared to other streaming services offering more content. In the end, Quibi became a billion-dollar punchline, proving that even with a star-studded lineup, you can't force an audience to bite. And there you have it, folks, 10 tales of financial folly that prove even the biggest companies can make mind-boggling mistakes. Next time you're beating yourself up over a bad investment, remember, at least you didn't lose billions. If you enjoyed this Fiscal Freak show, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Also, do let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Until next time, keep your money safe and your investments smart. We'll see you in the next video.